I'm headed is off trail. It's an area that I first discovered when I was shooting the land navigation video, and I'm traveling light and fast by my standards, just looking to check out some country here. I haven't been in there in a while, a couple, 3 years, and I'm scouting to see if it's a place that I might want to hunt this fall. So I'm looking to see what the water looks like this year. It's a dry year, although we got a lot of rain here in the last month. That's why there's still wildflowers everywhere. But anyway, we're gonna just head up and do a bunch of moving and scout this country. Rock? Yep, let's go. Let's go. Rocky hadn't had any water since we left Junction, so he's pretty happy to get into it now. I'm on that little trail now that I discovered, game trail / hunter trail, I'm not sure. Certainly not a maintained trail or a map trail. At any rate, this is the area I really want to start looking around. There was water in that creek, which is good, and I'm sure it goes all the way up that way. There's actually, should be a pond according to the map somewhere up on that saddle that I'm curious to check out. And the trail goes up over this notch here, and I think instead of heading straight for the pond, I'm going to follow the contour and follow the trail, and then once I get up on the ridge, if I'm still feeling like it, I'll head up the ridge that way to intersect that pond and check out that high country I'm kind of curious about. Really, really good. I think I'm gonna have some more of those things. First time I came in here, I summited that knob there and then spent the night down on that ridge line down below it. I'm really not feeling like I need to go over there. I can glass that country better from here than I can if I was over there. We'll see. For now, I'm still headed up this ridge line to see about that little pond I was talking about. And there's some climbing to go here too. I've reached the furthest point of this ridge line. I've been running out, and so whatever I do from here is kind of a commitment. It drops down in every direction. There's below me a saddle here between two drainages, two different creeks, and I suspect animals might be crossing over there instead of lower down in general. So I'm gonna head down Hopefully I don't lose too much altitude doing so, but I'm going to head down to that saddle and then reevaluate what I'm going to do once I get there. Rocky's definitely been smelling this hill. I'm glad I didn't climb straight to where the pond is roughly, because it's real steep over there. But Rocky's been doing a lot of scenting down there, which tells me there's animals bedded down there in the shade, which is a common thing for them to do this time of day. There's definitely a reasonably well-traveled game trail coming down this ridge line. And then here's the saddle right here. Looking forward to seeing if there's any kind of defined game trail crossing it. It's definitely steep either way from here. There's a pretty good meadow right out there. Rocky's definitely standing at attention. I don't see any animals right now. And this is not, I mean, there's not like a trail across here. Not even a decent game trail because there's so much deadfall. But I think they're moving through here. There's places where you can see it's worn out, you know, where there'll be 10, 15 feet of traffic. So I think what I'm going to do is figure out which direction the nearest water is and just head that way, see if I can find like a hidden little seep or something. Okay, I hear it too. Let's go find it. Go on ahead. I know you're thirsty. Go, go. Boy, that's kind of a trail. My goodness. Glad I'm wearing a good damn pair of boots. I didn't retire my old pair any too soon. They were starting to get soft and losing tread. You can re-sole, but once they're soft, not much you can do about that. That's about as nice of a creek as you could hope for. Rocky, of course, just clambered straight down the dang hillside to get right into it. I am not going to do that. I do want to fill this water bottle up, but I don't think I'm going to climb right down right here to make that happen. So I bumped down the creek here a little bit. The main creek bed's right over there, because I came to this little rock slide where I could get a better feel for what's going on. I can see out into the country a bit. I did end up climbing 1,000 feet this afternoon up to that ridge line, and I've only dropped down a couple hundred. So one option is I just go back up there. Rocky's tanked up. I got 3 quarts of water, which is enough to get us through until the next creek tomorrow sometime. So we could just camp up on the ridge. Another option is I keep going down this drainage and either camp in the bottom or work my way back out that way. In which case, maybe I'm seeing a little bit more country. Maybe I'd pick up some critter sign in the bottom, but the views aren't as good. Or probably there's another couple hours before the animals are moving. I can make my way down through the bottom and still circle back up somewhere where the views are pretty decent and make a dry camp. But anyway, I've been moving all afternoon in the heat, so I'm going to sit here and cogitate a bit, figure out what it is that I want to do, and also see how this raspberry crop is coming in. Pretty good. The blueberries were sweeter. Raspberries pretty good. Rocky, what were you doing over there, buddy? Were you working on a chipmunk? You're gonna get yourself thirsty again. Rocky agrees with me about the raspberry crop. Getting yourself poked. If you were a bear, Rocky, you could use your paws to help gather them. Pull that bush towards you and eat them that way. Well, there it is. I knew there had to be bears around here somewhere with all these berries. He's been into it for sure. That just looks too inviting down through there. I think I'm gonna just keep heading into the bottom here to see what there is between hither and yon. As nearly as I can tell, that creek terminates, at least for the time being, into this kind of marshy area here, which is a good thing to know. But I'm not going to go through it the same way Rocky did. We'll go around it. This is promising. Place where animals have moved. You can see, if you're in any doubt, where the bark's been knocked off of that log. Seeing these moose droppings reminds me that I forgot to put the hard cast ammo into my pistol. So instead of 200 grain hard cast, I've got, I think it's 185 grain bonded hollow point, which doesn't suck, but moose scares me more than any other animal. This is really, really old moose droppings, but I mean, it shows they're in the area and they get cantankerous quick. So at any rate, one more thing to keep an eye out for. This is what ground truth looks like here. No indication on the map whatsoever that there's a seep of any kind here, and yet here it is. Guaranteed the animals are using it. There's a well-trod trail that came right down to it and heads up across the ridgeline over here where I'm headed. So what I ended up doing here was bumping along this hillside below the ridgeline instead of dropping all the way into the bottom, which is good because I've run across a couple seeps I wouldn't have known about elsewise that I'm sure terminate before the bottom. It's starting to cloud up. I don't know if we're really going to get rain. It's getting pretty late, sometime after 4 anyway. So I'm going to just keep cruising along this hillside here until I find a spot that looks like a nice one to set up camp, and then going ahead and do that. But I'm in no hurry unless the weather starts getting worse. It's a good time just to be out ambling, as it were. Well, 5 minutes later, and it's like I was daring it to rain. So I'm hunkered up underneath this big coniferous tree where I'll be completely dry. And probably I'll just go on ahead and pitch my tent underneath here somewhere, or maybe right out here. Because at this point, you know, once it starts raining, usually that's rains for a while. Funny thing is, I'm not the first person to use this tree in this way. There's a rolled up tarp in the tree up here and some tinfoil over there, which means hunters. You can always tell when there is. Oh, and there's a bottle over there. Since I'm feeling nice and relaxed under this tree, watching the rain outside of it, not in any big hurry to put up the tent. For those of you who've been wondering what my light and fast loadout looks like, what I might have cut to get there, I didn't really cut that much. Part of the deal is I just, you know, I'm big enough, I can carry enough that I kind of get into a habit of carrying the same stuff year round. About the only thing I add in the winter is like puffy pants. But other than that, I've just, what's in my pack is in my pack, and I know I'm good for pretty much any conditions. But I trim that down for summer. My heavy insulated pad I didn't bring. I brought a summer weight one that's still insulated but less insulated, my sit chair, the Crazy Creek hex light. I cut that out. I really do like it. I like using it. I use it as backup for if my pad deflates. But if my pad deflates in the summer, it's not going to kill me. And since I was planning on moving most of this trip anyway, that's fine. And I think that thing weighs 22 ounces, so that's pretty good weight savings. In the pad, I think I probably saved a pound, I'm going to guess. I don't know. And then I left my cook kit at home. It's been warm enough. I haven't even been cooking on the trail anyway. And it was just an overnighter, so Ziploc bag full of granola bars. You know, and that's really a little canned cold brew latte for tomorrow morning. Takes care of that. I do have a heavy cover canteen cup. One of the titanium ones in case I needed to heat something. I do have some tea or, you know, whatever. I'd have to do it over twig fire, so I do have that as backup. And then the other thing is, you probably noticed that I'm carrying a ute and a stripped down one at that. I just stripped a ute way down, and basically a stripped down ute is 4.5 pounds. And so that saves some weight over the kuya with the Connor pocket I normally carry. Just got into a nice compact little load basically, but other than that, all the stuff I normally carry I still have, so I'm pretty doggone well prepared. But that I don't know weights, but I know all of that together saved me a fair amount of weight, gave me better mobility for a trip where I was planning on moving a bunch. Hung a little bit of a varmint bag here. Nice camp though. Rocky's ready to eat. And then after last couple trips, first mosquitoes and then ants. I don't know if it's because we got monsoon rains, all those things are worse than normally they are, but anyway, it's nice to be in a fully enclosed shelter for tonight, and hopefully Rocky will be good about just sleeping on the foot of the pad down there. We'll see. He does curl up pretty small. This is the magic of inReach. One of my daughters was in a car accident today. She's going to be fine, but being able to know that and reassure her, and reassure my wife about insurance, it's nice. It's nice to be able to be there in the way that I need to. Okay, so we've got some elk, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 yards away. They were actually feeding on the hillside right above me, maybe 20 yards away. And I saw Rocky looking up there, and finally I turned around to see what it was about. Rocky, you're not going to go talk to him? They're just kind of making their way up through the timber now. They're not that spooked. They continued on with what their plan was. They just did it upslope with me. All's well that ends well. Rocky, no, I know where they are. Thank you. There are indeed some more grazing out there. They're ways off and visibility is not good on account of all the drift smoke, but still good to see them out doing their thing. You're being a good boy, Rocky. Real good boy. Boy, these guys really should know better. There we go. Lost your courage.
Turns out it was the thrumming of grouse that woke us both up. Good morning, Rocky. Got a nice slice of homemade pumpkin bread to go with my cold brew here. Nice and hearty. She might have cut windows a little bit there. Now I'm back on this trail, which now I'm convinced is probably made by hunters. Thought this might happen. Get down by these little ponds down here, and here stands the aforementioned moose. But this guy is spectacular. He's the biggest shearers I've ever seen, I think. Saw one up in Wyoming that might have been the same size, but I honestly think was smaller. I'm sure glad he's on the other side of this little slough from us, because there is no way that I want to try to get past him. Boy, he's a big dominant dude. He knows he owns this place. We made it down through there without incident. I was worried there might be more moose in there, but at any rate, I was on pins and needles. We're past that area now and not too far from the car, so we're going to get on down the road.